Kantara, Chava, Sayara, Loka. In 2025, movies like these made so much noise that a lot of other really good gems either got lost or didn't get the love that they really deserved. Some didn't get enough shows, some didn't have stars, some were misunderstood, some were just ahead of their time. And today's video is all about those underdogs, the most underrated Indian films of 2025, in my opinion. The Girlfriend. Behind every successful man, there's a woman. I'm sure you've heard this quote a million times, but let's take two not so successful men, Arjun Reddy and Kabir Singh. Two men who went from being a possessive psych to an alcoholic psych. But behind these two men is a woman that we know nothing about, we don't really talk about. Preeti. But finally, this filmmaker decided to make an entire movie about that character and millions of other real-life characters around the world who will now realize the harsh truth. If you don't make the decisions of your own life, someone else will make them for you. In most love stories, you want the boy and girl to end up with each other, live happily ever after, but in this film, 20 minutes into this film, you want to scream at Rashmika's character and just say, for God's sake, please break up with this guy. If he was a red flag, she was colorblind. But when she finally does break up with him, the entire theater around me went wild for that moment. Yes, there are certain parts of the film that are cringe. Yes, the reactions on Instagram Reels are a little overboard, which gave a lot of people enough reason to call this film overrated, but I am going to 100% disagree. The Girlfriend is not an overrated film, it's a misunderstood film. It's a well-written, tight drama with crazy command over relationship dynamics. Deekshit Shetty is so convincing as Vikram that you just want to slap him, but the film truly belongs to Rashmika, who backs it with such conviction that it makes her the most unique female actor today, at least in the world of mainstream Indian cinema. Plus, it has one of the most unique interval blocks of 2025. But if you think I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. Talawara. Sometimes the world makes fun of you for something that is not really your fault. And over time, you get so used to it, you forget where you lost your identity and your self-respect. And then one person walks into your life and reminds you, bro, you're much better than this. Jyotish has vitiligo, a condition that leaves you with discolored patches on your skin and your face, which is why his friends call him Panda. The world laughs at him, judges him, and insults him for how he looks, calling him a bad luck charm for everyone around him. But one person sees him for who he actually is. And the rest of the story is about how Jyotish goes from being this loser that the world thinks he is to the hero that the world will one day call him. What I love most about Talawara is this. Most filmmakers would take such a subject and start with sympathy, sadness, tragedy, and all the cliches. But this film begins with comedy, keeps everything light, warm, and sweet. And when the moment comes, it has just the right amount of sweetness without getting heavy. And honestly, a feel-good film like this deserved a lot more love than it got. Paranapur. If you're watching this, you're either in college or you're working. If you're in college, consider yourself really lucky. Make the best of what you can. Have as much fun as you can. Because the minute you graduate and enter the working class, life quietly becomes all about that salary credited SMS. Less time with friends, less time at home, more time at traffic, more deadlines, more trying to impress your boss just for that one appraisal. And before you know it, you're married. And then come EMIs, then come kids, then come even more EMIs. You'll work harder, stay longer at office, spend even less time with your friends and your family, or even yourself. And one day you'll find out that your kid's suddenly all grown up and he'll look at you and say, Dad, you never spent time with me. And that's when it hits you. What the was the point of all this running? Paranapur takes this exact feeling, being trapped in this rat race, and turns it into a warm, funny film that knows exactly when to make you laugh and exactly when to stab you in the heart. And by the end, you're going to be like, maybe I should just slow down for a bit and enjoy what I already have, at least for some time. Homebound. In one of his recent interviews, Karan Johar said that he may not be producing films like Homebound again because it's difficult to recover the cost and he's accountable for profits. Despite this film getting a standing ovation at Cannes, despite being selected as the official entry from India to the Oscars, and despite being one of the genuinely few heart-touching films that Karan has produced in many years. But it's completely okay for the same producer to launch a hot air balloon to promote their next film. Anyways, I couldn't catch Homebound in the theaters because there were not enough shows in my area. I'm sure this was the same case with a lot of people, which may be one of the reasons why this film didn't work financially in the theaters. But when I watched it on Netflix, I wasn't prepared for what was going to hit me. I have such huge respect for filmmakers like Neeraj Gaiwan who can take such a simple story of two friends and say something so warm, so intimate, and yet so political and global at the same time. This film is a reminder that even in a country where every day can feel like a fight, where survival is so tough, kindness still exists, connection still exists, and hope still exists. Homebound is a film that India should be proud of, a film that Bollywood should be proud of, and definitely it's a baby that Karan Johar should also be proud of for helping to bring into this world. Stolen. There's a chance that a lot of you may not have watched this film yet, so I'm going to try as much as possible to not spoil it for you. This is pretty much the theme of the film. If you want to survive in India, you need money, privilege, and luck. But on some days, even having all of these three things is not going to be enough. If you want to help someone, don't think twice. Think 100 times before you do anything. If you see something that's wrong, that's happening in front of you, don't just watch. Walk away, run away as fast as you can. All this is horrible advice, but this is exactly the reality of India, and this is what the film talks about. Stolen is gripping, thrilling, extremely well made and shot, and finally, it gives you hope. Unlike the true story that the film is actually based on. The next two films have one thing in common. Both of them are films about filmmaking, my favorite genre of cinema. The first film is Superboys of Malegaon. A group of local boys who love cinema so much, they decide to shoot their own superhero film. With no money, no training, no VFX, no resources. Just pure passion and jugaad. This is the kind of story that reminds you why filmmaking is magic. A bunch of dreamers trying to make something out of nothing. And honestly, I can understand why this film may not have gotten enough footfalls in the theaters. It had no big stars, no chartbuster album, a small gem with an even smaller marketing budget, and then you have the complete opposite, which is this film called Kanta. A film with names like Rana Daggubati, Bhagyashree Borse, and Samudrakani in it. And Dulquer Salmaan acting his ass off, giving the performance of his lifetime. A film about a superstar and his ego, and his clash with a filmmaker who refuses to be treated as anything lesser. The scale is insane, the craft is insane, the drama is intense. Every frame looks like a black and white painting, and I get it. The second half may have polarized a lot of people. Even I didn't personally like it because it was so different from the first half of the film. But there is so much more to love in this movie. And the fact that a film like Kanta, with all this scale, this cast, this visual beauty still didn't get recognized by the audience, it genuinely made me question myself for a second. Am I the wrong one here? But I'm pretty sure the moment that this drops on OTT, it's going to explode. People are going to discover it, rewatch it, clip it, argue about it, celebrate it, and share posts on social media saying, we missed this gem in the theaters. Cinema is ruthless. Humans in the loop. If you're someone who has watched something based on my recommendation, all I want to tell you about this film is that just take a little more than an hour from your day and just try this film out on Netflix. I don't want to say anything more or less except that I just decided to watch this film, and it turned out to be the most different Indian film that I've seen this year, and it really left me feeling something. Just try it out and share what you thought in the comments. Bad Girl. 100% I know that one small part of the audience right now has already judged me, and that's exactly what this film is about. How quick we are to judge people based on their choices. Across the world, we've had so many iconic coming-of-age films told from a female perspective. Lady Bird, Easy A, 8th Grade, Edge of 17. Funny, warm, deep films that talk about identity, first love, shame, self-worth, and rebellion, all through the eyes of young women. But in India, this genre is almost non-existent. Which is shocking because this is a country where a girl's coming of age has 10 times the conflict. So naturally, it should have 10 times the drama. But nobody's making such films. And that's why I was genuinely glad that a new voice like Varsha Bharat came to the industry. Someone who's unafraid to tell a simple story, purely meant to spark conversation. She builds this world with so much confidence. Dreamy visuals, lived in details, characters who feel real and flawed and familiar. Amit Trivedi making his Tamil debut with a banger soundtrack, and the casting. Shanti Priya as the mother. Easily one of the best casting decisions of the year, and that performance alone makes the entire film worth watching. Bad Girl was never trying to start some revolution or anything, but looking at some of the reactions, especially after the trailer got banned, it seems to have shaken something up. And those are my favorite underrated Indian films of 2025. Let me know which ones are yours in the comments. It's the end of the year, so everyone is going to be making a lot of lists, including me. So is there any one list that you want me to make a video about? Let me know that as well in the comments. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.